What's going on here? What did you do to my car, Betty? Betty, what's going on here? What happened? What did you do to my car, Betty? Comments. Good morning, you sexy sons of bitches. I am the Rockabilly Rambler, and instead of working on the heist, I'm working on the GREENGO. As you can tell, it has no windshield. It has no interior. It has no glass. Somebody put a Grant Challenger steering wheel in there. But yeah, we're chopping the top. I'm chopping the top. It's a fast car. It looks decent, but it's a boring commuter car. And honestly, I think I could just do better. I could do it better. So we're gonna work on that today. Chopping a top doesn't cost much. Welding rod and sheet metal at best. Welding rod and sheet metal at worst. At best, you've got enough metal from chopping it to put it back together. The leftovers are the metal that you need. In all likelihood, I'll have to buy a sheet of sheet metal, but I'm bored, and this is what I do. Alright, right off the bat, we got some bullshit going on. So I covered it with a tarp, but I guess I didn't cover it enough. The floor pan is flooded. It's whatever. The carpet was super gross. It needs a washing anyway. But I guess some water got past the tarp. It doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like it's soaked through, but you really don't want to get the dashboard soaked because that's where the computer is. You fuck the computer, you break the whole car. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit more careful. I had it strapped down and I had bricks, but I think I'm gonna duct tape it shut. Alright, so a lot of people talk about how hard it is to break the tempered glass on the sides of the cars. I'm gonna go ahead and tell it like it is, guys. If you just aren't a pussy and just hit it with all you've got, it's gonna break. Easy. Sorry, I missed the shot. The weight of the sledgehammer actually twisted my body. Just hit it with authority and don't be a pussy. There. This is the only glass we're gonna break. Because when we tilt the rear of the roof forward, there isn't going to be room for this anymore. So we're going to tilt the rear windshield, because you can't cut tempered glass. Tempered glass breaks like this, tiny. You cannot cut this. There's no way to cut this. I've tried. I've talked to glass specialists. Alright, you sexy sons of bitches. So, I feel like an idiot now. The car was really cheap. It was only $800. I'd been in a serious accident, man. The windshields, front and back, had both been replaced. And the paint had come off. And it's pretty rusty. When I painted it, I did a pretty good job painting it. It's pretty shiny. It's gross as hell. What happens when you have 4 dogs in the same yard? Right here I had a bit of trouble cutting it, and I just realized why. It was all dented. It was all twisted and shit. We can take a look down there behind the C pillar, and you can see a lot of Bondo, and some cutting had been done to straighten it out. The rear windshield too, it's rusty back here too, and then the spot welds have been drilled out. See spot weld right there, and all of these spot welds have been drilled out too, right there, right in the middle of the screen. And then right here, I don't know what happened. The car had a clean title, and it still does, but it's obviously been in some serious collision, because that is some shit. I thought I'd split it with my questionable saw work, because right here there's a split now, but apparently that split had been there since before. Brought her. I was like, wow, the saw blade fucked it up, but no, it's whatever, man. It's whatever. I mean, it was a hoopty to begin with, and it didn't. No one really loved it. I just didn't know it was that damaged. So I'm gonna do a 6-inch in the front. It's a little extreme, but so here's the original roof line. See, it's a normal car, everyday car. Your grandma probably has one of these, and this is what it's gonna look like when we take 6 inches out of it. Oh god, it's crazy. Hey. All right, so day 3. It's Wednesday today, and I'm working on the chop top GREENGO. It took about 4 inches. Ended up taking about 4.5 inches out of the roof, and even more in the back. In the middle, it's about 4.5. Betty, get off of me. So my cuts were a little off. You can see the cut in the windshield and the cut in the roof were a little offset. That's all right. It would probably be better to cut the insides, cut this off, this excess off, and cut all of this excess off, and just make it that much wider of a canal in the middle. Because my grandpa, who's like 100, decided to go for a walk and didn't turn on the exterior lights of the house, and he fell on top of the roof. So the roof is a little dented now. It's super rusty. You can see all this pitting where I scraped it on the other side. It's still rusty as hell. The rear windshield, since you can't cut tempered glass, I just raked the shit out of it, and I took out way too much, so now there's a huge gap. It's alright, because without that gap I couldn't put that bar in the middle to support it while I'm doing it. And then I made a box section to tack it up in the middle, just with Tech screws. And then I'm holding up the sections with a 1/2-inch square tubing. And then I got a little crucifix over here, so we can fight off, vampire invasions. Other than that, it's going pretty smooth. I didn't think I was gonna be able to cut it with a stick welder, but I'm fucking badass, so.